and it just because everything in my life has been a series of connections,
right?
And like how everything kind of plays out. The universe has a plan for me,
yep.
and I just let it.
I was gonna ask you, do you believe in like manifestation and things that just happen for
Absolutely.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because without that faith and that ability to see that, I'd still be messing up.
Right.
It was when I finally took a step back from trying to control my own life all the time and let the things kind of happen as they may, but just make right decisions and live in the moment rather than always living in the future trying to. I'm not living. You're not enjoying what life you have if you're always thinking about what you don't have or what you're gonna get or what.
That's something that I'm trying to learn myself. Like doing like the podcasting and doing like music and stuff. It's like it's very little money in it at first, but you just love to create. So like, I love to create. So to get through those discouraging days, I'm trying to find the ways to like get me to stay, up to be able to continue to create without, not necessarily having the money and things like that.
Right.
So it's definitely, living in the moment is definitely one of the key things for me that I'm learning.
It is. It's and understanding that you're in control of your moods.
Right.
And you're in control of only you.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else can make. They can affect your mood.
Right.
But they can't control it.
Right.
You're the one that is going to you got to stop yourself and say, I'm in a bad place right now. Let me do something positive to change my negative mindset that I'm in right now. If I can find a positive action to do, because you can't think your way out of it. You just keep trying, but you have to do something. And it's doing the little things that have made the most difference for me, like setting up little routines and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's how Katora came to be. We kind of jumped into it without knowing. We had never owned anything together. We had never owned anything separately.
Wow.
Hey,
that's the best.
Couple little businesses here and there.
Me and my mom talk about that all the time. Like sometimes you may not know what you're doing exactly, but when you have faith and when you trust that you're going by what is meant to happen, it'll all play out. Everything works out in the end.
It does. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and you're gonna get tested along the way. Because they're testing us right now to get some things, but it happens. We've been now in business for 4 years, and I'd say that we still struggle. We still have obstacles and barriers to overcome and things to push through. It's gotten easier because we've started to work smarter. But it hasn't gotten easier just because it gets easier.
Right.
It doesn't get easier, it gets more, because when you take on more employees, then you have more people's lives under your control. We think about our employees as if we were those employees, like how we would want to be treated. And so our employees have a lot of freedom. And it has caused problems with certain employees in the past. Too much freedom. Well, they'll hang themselves with it. They end up doing homework on the clock. Playing video games on the clock, doing stuff that you wouldn't normally do because you just have so much time on your hands and you're not a self-motivator or self-starter. So we've learned through that process that now we have lists that if you're not someone that knows what the next thing is to do, you can go back to the list and say, all right, what's the next thing I should do? And when all that stuff's done, I don't care. Post up, sit down, play a video game, do whatever, because there are dead times in the day, and that's okay.
So do you create the work environment based on how you would want to, work for a person?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's one thing that our staff tells us is that they love they love coming to work. They look forward, because I look forward to going to my shop. Because it's going to put me in a better spot. I know that if I'm in a bad place, sometimes it's just about coming in, walking through the door, and just changing everything, perspective. Because you know that somebody's going to greet you with a smile here. They're going to be actually concerned about how your day was. There's a couple things that we do. We try to stay engaging with the community.
I definitely feel you on that, because even with me waking up this morning, I'm thinking I got 2 other interviews that I gotta do after. And And I'm like, man, I got a long day ahead of me. But then every time I sit down and I start talking to the people, my energy comes right back up again. Because it's like, this is what I meant to, this is what I want to do. I want to get to know people. I want people to also have a voice to be able to get their business out there, or get what they do out there. Because everyone has a story. And I think what's the niche, what I'm trying to do is make it so a younger 16-year-old can say, oh man, this guy created something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? And able to see, just because you start off rough or you start off on the wrong path doesn't mean necessarily that you're in. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to explain to kids and explain to different people watching for the channel.
Oh yeah, I mean, I came up and I made bad decisions for most of my life, and I would say that I've only been clean for 5 years. So the time that I've been in Fredericksburg is the time that I've been clean.
Wow.
So for the 20 years prior to that, I wasn't. I mean, since I've been 11 years old, I've been using something.
Right.
Whether it's alcohol or weed or pills or heroin. Once I got a little older and realized what that was, it was over.
Right.
Wrap. And it's a matter, for me, it was a matter of finally wanting to quit.
Right.
Because I didn't want to quit. My body didn't want me to quit, and my body still didn't want me to quit, but my mind wanted to quit, and that was enough.
Right.
Because when I wanted it enough, I did it.
Right.
Because if you want something enough, you're going to go get it.
That's the truth.
But if you don't want, you got to want it. You can need it all you want, but if you don't want it, you need to take a shower. If you don't want to take a shower, you can take a shower.
Yeah, right.
But if you want it, and you're going to do anything to get it.
Yep.
And I wanted to quit. I wanted to give it up. I didn't want to see dope anymore. I didn't want to get high like that anymore. I didn't want to it controlled my life.
Right.
It had everything. But I gave it everything.
Right.
It was what I woke up thinking about. It was what I went to bed thinking about. It was what I made sure my kids were fed and that they were in school and they had toys, and then the rest of my life was around what I needed to do to get my next
fix. And do you feel like you were escaping from something like that you didn't want to necessarily be
dealing with? Yeah, of course. Right. And then so part of the work is figuring out why you were self-medicating.
Right.
I'm bipolar. I didn't realize that had so much, and ADHD. So I had no idea how affected my life was by those conditions.
Right.
I didn't want to believe that I had anything wrong with me, period. I don't want to consider that it's wrong, something was wrong with me, but I didn't want to be, in my mind, I thought that something was wrong, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
politically correct.
Yeah,
blah, 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 blah.
They tell us, when they give us these labels, they tell us that this is what's wrong with you, and now all of a sudden you have a problem. But when naturally, most human beings probably have these different things wrong.
And so it's just a matter of, does the medication work for me? And yeah, it did. And it brought clarity to me. And luckily, April, when she met me, I still wasn't right, but I was halfway there.
Right.
And she worked with me the rest of the way, and it has brought me, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to her for the work that she was willing to put in, knowing what my potential was, and being able to see that through so it was fortunate man.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yep, that's a fact. That's a fact.
How it goes.
What was some of the struggles and some of the things you had to get over to overcome to come into the business?
So, I think initially we had to overcome the fact that there was already 5 or 6 different places to get coffee in Fredericksburg.
Right.
So, are we going to compete with these other coffee shops, or are we going to carve out our own niche, our own thing? And that's what we did. We said, screw it, we're going. We are the gay coffee shop. We are the Black Lives Matter coffee shop. We supported the protest throughout. We are the community's coffee shop. Everybody is welcome here. And that is the way it's been from the beginning.
That's what I'm going to tell you. That's what this place represents to me. I've been knowing about it here about 3 years, 2 years now. So it's been the place for music. For me, you know what I'm saying? I've noticed that, you guys have open mics and things like that. So I've always known it to be a place where you can go do your music. I think, did you guys have a studio at one point?
Right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I knew there was a studio
lab.
in here. Yep. So I always knew that it was more than a coffee shop. You know, it was like you said for the community. So the branding that you did is definitely perfect on that. It's really the only coffee shop I know about. Right?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, no, we've always kept it open to what people want to do. Like if they wanted to do music, then we did music. If they want to do poetry, we do poetry. So on Fridays we do poetry. On Wednesday we do music. Now they come and play Dungeons and Dragons on Sundays.
Nice.
So like they'll come and do that, and then on Tuesdays, one of our baristas, Ari, she hosts an art night, and so people can come and paint and they have different themes for every night. She's got every Tuesday specced out for the rest of the year, like with themes and everything. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's under control.
I'm glad you're doing this for the community, because just to have a place for us to be able to create and be able to do certain things and having events is big, because there's not normally things around for us to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Not for the alternative community or the younger community, because I want a place where the things that I was doing, like my oldest son is 14, and so I want a place that him, all the way up until the time that he's in college, has a place to go. And has a spot where it's safe. Because we don't serve alcohol. We're never going to serve alcohol. I don't want that around. You don't need that around kids. And so that was kind of like, that was one of our main sticking points. Was keeping it all ages.
That's good. So how often do you guys, what's the process for people renting out the space and things like that?
So if you want, we have specific Saturdays are set aside for rentals. We have, we do the first Saturday of every month, we have an art show called Live and Local, because first Friday is everybody else. And so we do first Saturday. Just to kind of like, that's fine. You can have first Friday and your sip and stroll and everything else that you do down here. That's crazy. So Fredericksburg has come a long way. Really has in the past few years. Since I've been here, it's grown. And so I know that people that have grown up here have really seen a transition in the way downtown is. But the first and third Saturdays we have events, but then the second, fourth, and if there is a fifth Saturday, they're always open. So that's the big nights that are available, and then during the week, Mondays and Thursdays are, and Thursdays might be getting booked up here. We got, so it really, and basically you can reach out to us through the website or through Instagram. Is the best way. That's the most. Facebook is my wife. You'll be talking to her all day. Instagram, you can talk to me. So, but yeah, we're the ones that run the sites and run the social media. So like, it's just, we've done. My wife's a graphic designer by trade. And so she was just doing programming when I met her, but like her thing is graphic design. So like she's done all of the branding. She did the logo, the Lotus, any of the stuff that we put out is all. It's all done in-house.
So what is everything, some of the things on the menu that you guys serve?
We are vegan and vegetarian. So everything that is here is vegetarian. There is no dairy. So we don't do any whole milk or half and half or regular cream cheese or butter or anything. It's all vegan butter, vegan cream cheese. But yeah, we have, I've got a vegan tempeh chicken salad sandwich, which is really good. It's made with tempeh and watermelon radishes and dried pineapple, and it's fun. It tastes like chicken salad, but it's 100% vegan, and it has sweet pea shoots, and you can get it on any choice of bread. We've got a sausage and chow breakfast sandwich that you can get all day long. People go crazy for it. It's like one of our top sellers, and it's over at the college as well. Tots and nugs. Chicken nuggets and tater tots. And they're vegan chicken nuggets. And they're good.
I've been starting to eat vegan nuggets now. They taste. I can barely taste the difference.
It's a matter of making sure that you get that you treat yourself to things like that. Because it's fast food. So you can't eat that stuff all the time. Just because it says it's vegan doesn't always mean it's healthy. So like if you're eating Morning Star every single day, then you're basically going to the vegan version of McDonald's every single
right,
day.
Right.
Remember to get your fresh vegetables and your fresh fruit and everything. But yeah.
So do you practice a vegan lifestyle yourself?
Veganish.
Veganish. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. That's probably how I would be.
I can't give up certain things that just keep me away from it. So I can't give up veggie cream cheese from Wawa.
Alright, okay.
And that's really the only thing that is keeping me from being 100% vegan.
Okay.
Because every single morning I go and get a bagel from Wawa. Even though I own a coffee shop. I go every single morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. You will find me at Wawa getting a bagel and a coffee, and that's been my routine. It started when the pandemic hit, and it was my way of making sure I got out of the house and still had human connection. Because I was terrified of being locked in the house with just the family.
Yeah.
I love the family, don't get me wrong, but if it was just me and the family for a year total.
Yeah. So how did you get through the COVID period, and how did the business succeed through the COVID?
It was rough.
Yeah.
With government support.
Okay. Yeah.
We got all of the loans that were available or grants that were available, we tapped into it. Because it was the only way. Without that, we would have had to close. Luckily, those things were in place, and so we closed down all the way to. I think we were physically closed for maybe a month out of the whole time. But then we were limited to 10 people at a time for a while, and then it went up to 20 people at a time. But the way we got around it, we kept doing the open mic. We would do 10 people at a time up here. You would get 10 folks, and they would be able, and then we'd make them all leave, and then the next 10 would come in. And so
never stop.
We had to. It worked out. And then even when we were shut down, we did the closed mic sessions. And those are up on. They're on our YouTube channel.
Nice.
I would have one artist come in. It would be me and the artist, and they would perform, and I recorded them and then posted it just so because people they didn't know what to do. They didn't know. I mean, there's a gentleman right here. He performed.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
He was part of that closed mic session.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there was some. It was intense. But I think that the main thing that it helped me realize was that I do depend on the human connection in my daily life in my mental health.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
Talking to people, seeing people, shaking hands, hugs, touching, all of that. It keeps me grounded and it keeps me motivated.
Right. So I was gonna ask you if when you're getting into a business, like what would be your advice to somebody who necessarily didn't have the money to start up a business, or the different steps you could take, if you didn't have certain things?
So when you're starting off, you need to look to people that your support group, if you really want to do funding, then like if you're looking to get funded, you should go to your friends and your family first. People that believe in you, because those are going to be the ones that will help you get past that initial stage. Banks won't lend to you. The government won't lend to you.